Before Blockspin, we had The Hood, and before The Hood, we had The Streets. Yes. The game usually has about 20 players playing each day. Now, if you used to play this game back then in around 2017, you may have most likely forgotten about it just like I have, but since I remember it, I might as well speak about it. So, I want to dig into what made it great, what went wrong, and why it never really bounced back. Back in its prime, this game was literally the main Roblox Hood game. If you wanted to play a Hood game on Roblox, you'd instantly think of this game. When you joined, you started with just your fists and a knife, and you could pick up weapons around the map, melee stuff like pipes and clubs, or firearms like Uzis, shotguns, Glocks, and sawed-off guns. Then when you knock someone out or shoot someone, you can then finish them off by absolutely stomping the life out of them. On top of that, the game had a simple but tight stamina system. If you sprinted or swung a weapon, your stamina drained, so you had to be smart about fights. You could grab cash from item spawn areas, then use it to buy weapons. But if you died, you lost the stuff you bought. The vibe of the map was dusty and open world, almost like a low-budget GTA. Players roamed, fought, teamed up, or just tried to survive in the streets. That mix of freedom, combat, and risk is what made the streets feel so addictive. I always used to play this game back in 2017, and man, it was just too good. Alright, but enough chit-chat on how good this game was back in the day. Even though the core was solid, the game slowly got broken. Glitches became a huge problem. There's a flickering bug where players teleport or flicker between positions, especially when there's lag or during car use. Sometimes players could fly ragdolls or even revive in unintended ways. Like it literally felt like we were playing the game with the Avengers. But yeah, you know, these bugs killed the flow of combat and made fights feel unfair or busted. Even on top of those glitches, exploiters made things worse. Players found ways to crash servers or abuse glitches for huge advantages, which pushed away people who just wanted normal fights. On top of that, some of the updates from the devs didn't help. The player base itself turned into one of the biggest issues. What was once a gritty, fun gang fight community became super toxic. People reported constant harassment, name-calling, and a lot of easy spam after kills. At that point, people low-key just started rage-baiting each other for the fun of it. Some players felt like the community grew more interested in proving how street they were than in actually having good fights. That toxic vibe chased off casual players who just wanted to mess around. While the streets was choking on its own problems, the rest of Roblox was moving on. Players started shifting onto different Hood games since these types of games were getting more popular. We're talking about games that were based in the UK, Chicago, and other places, but of course, as we all know, the main game that grabbed most of the players from the streets was The Hood. And to be honest, it was quite sad to see this, since most of the players saw The Hood as an upgrade of the streets and how it was just much more better. The Hood genre started to spread quickly, and since the streets began to start lacking in their updates, all these games just started taking over. From 2016 to 2018, the game was in its peak with thousands of players playing each day, but as for now, well, it doesn't look too good. But you know how it is. This is what happened to many of these games that we used to play. Some of them may get a comeback, but most of them have already fallen just like the streets. As for now, the top Hood game with the most active players would be Blockspin. But if want to take a spin back to the past, you should go ahead, check out the streets again. With that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one.